on live. Hello, everybody. And normally you're all waiting for me to say, welcome back to another episode of blah, blah, blah. But that's not the case today. That is not the case at all. I am super, super, super excited because you all know what this is. This is the official IOTD book launch. I should have had a prop book, but yeah, there we go. So this is the official launch, and I am super excited. So if all of you have been following my social media, you know we have guests. We're going to have live signings. We are going to have just a lot of fun. And starting off, our very first guest, I would like to welcome my publisher who has worked with me for 6 months, Mr. Darren Palmer. Hi.
Hi. How you doing, young lady?
Very well. How are you?
I'm excited to be here. Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, I mean, it was you and your team that made it possible. So thank you.
It's an honor. It's an honor to be able to work with you.
Okay. So for everyone who does not know, this is Darren Darren Palmer. He is the founder of Self-Publish in 30 Days. And I reached out to him, October 8th of last year. And it was just kind of a message out of the blue. At the time, I was looking to try and publish the digital version of my book to Amazon. And you had actually worked with one of my mom's friends on Facebook, his sister. And so I just sent you the random message. And then from there, the whole thing just kind of strung together. So I think there's a lot of people in the community who don't know who you are and don't know what your company is. So I had some questions. We are throwing a little bit of an interview show in here for everybody who is fans of the show. So I did have some questions for you if you'd be willing to answer them.
Absolutely. I would love to.
All right. Well, then I'm ambushing you right away. So I wanted to ask you, first of all, what made you want to start your own company? What led to the Self-Publish in 30 Days? Because you also teach people, you're a coach, and then you also publish books. So what kind of led to both platforms?
Well, it led to it because first of all, that's an amazing question that you asked me there, because it actually happened. I can't say that I had this big bright idea or I had this epiphany and I just had a 10-year plan that it was all going to work out the whole nine. It actually came, Rena, similar to like a story that you had. I was doing speaking, doing keynotes for the collegiate circuit, so to speak, for future leaders of America and things like that, freshman orientation days. And what I noticed is that I had a mentor and a coach who shared with me, Darren, it's great that you have a book. But the thing is that when I had a book to be an expert at what I did, I started noticing that after I got through with a keynote or after I got through with a speech, that I would have individuals who would reach out to me and say, Darren, I love your book, or I love your books, after I wrote more than one or so. And then they would come to me and they would say, I have a book inside of me that I need to give birth to, that I want to share, but I have no way of doing it. I don't know the first place to start. So I had another mentor, Rena, and he noticed the common denominator that it wasn't Darren. I'm not that smart. I try to do the best that I can and work hard and study with brilliant people like you. But I also followed the steps of what a mentor shared with me. He said, someone asks you something 3 times, create a product. So we went back, we created a course, actually really just to give people something so they could leave me alone so I could continue to travel and do what I needed to do, what I thought. And then I started noticing it picked up steam. And then we created a personal landing page just for the course. And then we started going back and noticing that some people got the book done with the course, but we realized that the thing that was missing, the secret sauce, was the personal book concierge. Speaking to someone who English was the first language, not just conversing through email, but actually having interaction with real people. And at the time of this recording, with us dealing with COVID-19, because I should be in Denver, Colorado, at least being in Littleton right now, we're actually doing this through StreamYard. So we understand the importance of being able to connect with one another. So from there, we started seeing the results go up. People were actually being fulfilled, their dreams were coming true. So that's how we gave birth to Self-Publishing in 30 Days. And I'm honored and privileged to say that I never would have thought in my wildest dreams that we would be the #1 self-publishing company in the world. But it happened with one simple idea that came from somebody else, of some things that they needed. So it was supply and demand, simple economics.
So it did kind of start out as the teaching course and then turned into you guys started publishing the books for them?
Yes.
Dang, yeah. Man. So, and did you have all of your team in the beginning? Because I mean, like I've talked to Stephanie, who seems to be your head of projects. I've talked to Misty, who is someone who works in your office. Butch Burney was my main editor. Did you start out with all of them on your team, or have they all just kind of come together as time has progressed on?
No, it's been a process. So just similar like to a book, you start off with, a rough draft. You start off with just writing, period, and then you continue to move on. That's the same way that it's been with our team. We've been able to build it as we have continued to evolve and move forward. At first, when it was just a course, it was no sense of having a bunch of editors and things like that, because it was more of how to do it yourself type of thing going on. But since then, we've been able to progress and realize that we wanted editors. Sometimes we would outsource it at the beginning, but then we realized as the company grew, we wanted to bring it in-house and have it under one umbrella where we could actually interact and work. And then we started figuring out strategies. We were listening to our clients and seeing what their needs were. And so as we continued to see what our clients' needs were, we continued to add to the team as needed, to be able to benefit our clients and add more value. So that's where it came with having in-house editors. So we didn't have to worry about being online and trying to find somebody, and they might be in a different country or they might be somewhere else, but they weren't tied to the project like we were. And then we also realized the same thing for as design of covers, things like that. And also having a chief operating officer. It all evolved over time. Similar to those who are looking at doing a book, it might start off with an idea. Then you'll start off, with a plan of how can I create content or how to develop characters. If you're Arena Brown, all of us are not talented and a genius like her, but at the same time, it's a process. And then voila, you look back some years down the road and you look at the amazing rides you've been able to have and how you've been able to learn by trial and error.
So you say trial and error. One of my questions was, and it kind of partakes to some of the stories part of my shows, is what have been some of your most memorable trial and error experiences?
I don't want to take over the whole book lunch. I don't want to take over the whole book lunch when we start talking about that. I would say.
What's your most memorable when building the company to where it is now?
One of the most memorable times is I had a project when we first was scaling. I had one book, and it's not supposed to say this as a publisher, but I want to be totally transparent because I'm on here live for the book launch of Arena Brown. So, but I do want to share. I had a project that I did early in the process of the company, and we got the book back. And it was just errors everywhere, all the way through the book. And so we looked at it, did it again. And so that was one of the biggest reasons that we wanted to make sure that we had somebody in-house. We go a level further when it comes to what we do for our clients. We don't just get your content and just throw it in Grammarly, like some people do, and then tell you that it's an edited book. And it's not aligning, it's not, flowing together the whole nine. And so we go more in depth with an initial assessment to give you understanding of flow and make sure there's not any grammatical errors and things like that. And so with all that being said, that was one of the most memorable, oops, my bad, is being able to deal with that and deal with a client who's like, oh my goodness, man, I got this book out and there's errors all in it. So we, needless to say, we made the adjustments, we pivot and did what we need to do to get where we need to go and where we are right now.
Wow. So definitely one of the most memorable.
Definitely.
So I wanted to ask also, how many years have you been running your company now?
We've been in business around 6 years now.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, around 6 years that we've been in business or whatnot, and like I said, it's been an evolution process. We didn't do like Beyonce. We didn't wake up like this. It's investment, trial and errors, learning, growing, and the best part of it is being with great individuals just like yourself, Rena. And so that's the amazing part of what I love. What I get to do and why I have such a passion and a conviction is because, when you got people like you counting on you to see a dream come true, who would have known that we would be here 6 months ago, but you took a leap of faith, you reached out, you did the work, you stayed steadfast, you were a pleasure to work with. And now here we are.
I know. And it's incredible to think about, because when I literally did message you out on the limb, I'm like, there's probably no way I'm going to get a response, but hey, I tried anyway, And then when you answered, I was like, oh, okay, hang on. All right, wait a minute. So
that's true.
It is true. Yeah.
You said there's no way he's going to take me seriously.
There's no way, because because I went to your website because we found you through Renee, right?
Yeah.
Through the Storm, the author of Through the Storm.
Yeah.
And I went to your website and I was like, man, he's got like, he's got like people who are publishing, cookbooks and like, and nonfiction and, like adult content. And I'm like, I'm just some random 18-year-old who's writing about fantasy fiction. There's no way this is gonna pan out. And then when we took that first phone call, you're like, let's set up an invoice. I was like, oh my gosh, because I literally, the conversation we had was, I don't think it's gonna work, but hey, you never know if you don't ever try,
Yeah. And you tried, and kudos to you.
Which it really worked out, and I am so honored that you were willing to work with me for as long as you did. But speaking of books, I know you mentioned that you had written your own first book, and that's when you were doing speeches and you were going around and you were going to ceremonies. How many books have you written, and what was kind of the inspiration behind each one?
Well, let's just say, for instance, I'm actually up to 10 now.
Wow.
10 books.
Dang.
Now, I haven't changed it on my website or whatnot because we got a co-authoring program as well that we're doing to help people who might be, they might feel that it's overwhelming trying to do a whole book. So we included to bring like-minded and then also awareness. So if you feel like you're the type of author and nobody doesn't know me yet, but you have the power, your network is your net worth, so to speak. So if it's more individuals, you got people who would like, if someone knows Rena, now people are going to know about Darren now because they know Rena. So because I'm connected to you as people who would have never heard of me, now they know of me because of you. And that's the concept behind that. But the first book that I wrote, I never forget it. It was Extraordinary Over Ordinary, Stories of Leadership from the Past to the Present. And the reason I wrote that book is because I'm a history buff. So I was totally inspired by stories of people who've come before us and how they've been because history repeats itself if you don't pay attention to it. And it also gives you clarity when you're faced with a time like we're dealing with a COVID-19 of those who were successful or those who were able to overcome the same way that it was the Great Depression. Some companies went out of business or when people, just tanked and gave up. But there were other people who flourished and great ideas and new systems and vaccines and things like that were able to come out of that particular period of time. So with that first book that I did, I wanted to piggyback off what my strengths were. And I think that's something that could be beneficial to those who are tuned in to this virtual book launch. It start with your strengths You don't have to be Stephen King. You don't have to be Brene Brown. You need to be who you are. So stick what works best with you. And typically the content will come, it will flow. It will come easier to you because you're creating from your own perspective of what you know to be true, instead of getting bogged down and to trying to think that you need to create something to sound like somebody else because you love the content that they write. So wrote. So that's what, just like one of the first books. And I also got Money Making Book Secrets is a program that I got. Also, Overcoming Extraordinary Obstacles is another book that I have as well. Just recent, we just did The Footprint of Success. It's something that I'm excited about as well. So those are just a few of the different books that we've been able to write. But most of my content is either referencing to overcoming challenges, because that's my area when it comes to leadership and having the right perspective, and also content that's relevant to serving our client base, far as if they need to increase sales or if they need to get the proper awareness through public relations. Things like that is what I typically create from. And also my wife was able to create a book, Diary of an Entrepreneur's Wife, showing and sharing how we had our youngest child, got 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls. And we had our youngest child that we gave birth to a child, but at the same time, we had given birth to a business, and how we both we were together, but in silos because of what it would take to nourish and build the kids and also a business at the same time. So that's a good read too, as well.
I might have to go into it and
Yeah, it's good.
It's really good. So did you write a lot of your books before your company or after your company? Because it sounds like a lot of them were kind of like giving people pointers, because you are a coach and you are a teacher, and it sounds like a lot of the books are to help people. So would you say that a lot of them came after you had become self-published in 30 days, or were a lot of them pre the company?
A lot of the books was created through the evolution. So first of all, speaking, so it was really in the infancy stages. So it wasn't even a publishing company at the time, really at that point. I was actually doing speaking. So the sole purpose of why I wrote the first book is because I wanted to be looked at as an expert. So if I was doing keynotes, people would take me more seriously if I were able to say that I was a published author. So that's the only reason I wrote the first book, period. For that very reason. After I wrote the book and I saw the need, that's why we evolved and we created the course. And then I started adding team members and things like that, from just being a solopreneur or whatnot to adding more of a staff, because the company evolved, different components of it evolved. So I needed to staff up and have people that could be experts at what they do, because I'm not here to do everything. So I have to do what I do best, and then also build a team and create an environment where people are able to be creative and use skill sets to be able to be beneficial to people. So it was through the process. So when I first started, created a book, and basically I created a book once a year.
Oh,
Every year I did a book. Sometimes I might have done it two in a year or 3 in a year, but at the beginning I did a book every year. That's what I did. I dropped the book and started promoting it around late October and went into the new year with a new book.
Dang. You can write a lot faster than I do, man. Jeez.
Yeah, but the style of the book is different. So it's not like I had to create new characters and worlds and things like that. So to you now, let's just take a pause real quick, because this is your thing, but I want to go a little bit deeper on what you just shared. There it is again. Use your strengths, because I'm amazed at the content that you write. You're looking at how quickly I'm able to produce and get content out for us, the books. But we're all unique. We all have our own following and audience. The best thing for you to do is leverage who you are, and you can't go wrong. Just because I have a message in a leadership space doesn't mean that you don't have, a tribe that's waiting on you for the content that you create. And so many people who are beginning at creating content and writing the books, they get caught up looking at what other people are doing instead of what they are good at or what they know to do. So please do what you know to do, and then you can maneuver and your tribe. It's like the old school movie, Field of Dreams. That was way before your time, Rena. If you build it, they shall come. So if you can check that out on Netflix or Hulu, check that out, and you'll see what I'm referencing to.
Okay. I was like, I watch a lot of old movies, but I'm like, I don't recognize that.
Yeah, Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams.
Okay, I should write that down. I did. So I also while I'm writing this down, I also want to do a quick shameless plug while I have you on here.
Okay. No problem.
And it kind of feeds into another question. So my shameless plug is that I did a podcast with Mr. Palmer, and it's on his website. So if you go to Self-Published in 30 Days, and you scroll down, you can actually find podcasts, and mine's from January 28th. So shameless plug.
There you go.
I also wanted to ask you what started the podcasts, because initially it was helping people get published, and it was the books. And I know you said that you did do, like with co-authors where, like both of you get exposure from both sides. Is that kind of where the podcast came from, or what kind of started the podcasts?
Well, the co-author program really is something that's new that we've initiated towards the end of last year. But the podcast has been going on for 3 to 4 years now. And the reason that we created the podcast was to give exposure to our clients. Mm-hmm. And also it was for an educational purpose as well. It was to educate those who are looking at or interested in doing a book, and creating a free platform so they could learn from beginning authors, so it didn't seem so far-fetched. Mm. Like I was sharing beforehand, you don't have to be Malcolm Gladwell to do a book. And so many people, have that limited belief and think that they have to be somebody who's as profound when it comes to writing as Malcolm Gladwell. And so that's why we wanted to have everyday people from different parts of the world that would come on and share what they did. So it's a little harder for me to have an excuse why I haven't written that book when I got somebody like Rena who is creating content, who's going to school, who's working, or I might have someone who's somebody who might be a single parent who's still able to create content and juggle AAU and soccer and debate and things like that, and science project stuff with STEM. So by having individuals that people could relate to from different parts of the world of all socioeconomic classes to be a part of that particular show, it added tremendous value. So we went from Self-Published in 30 Days podcast, which you can find Rena episode and others if you just go to iTunes or Stitcher. If you got Android, you can go there or go to our website, whatever works best for you. We created that. And then we also went into the power of story. So we realized that stories weren't limited to people who were just authors. There were people who had amazing stories who weren't yet authors yet. So we created the power of story so we could interview change agents who are making a difference locally and globally. You don't have to just be in the NBA or be the head of a Fortune 500 company to make a difference. And so we wanted to explore that arena and have people come on for that. And then we had the award-winning Author Spotlight. That's where I go behind the scenes with authors from across the globe and be able to hear what makes them tick. And so you're able to have an intimate setting like I'm having with you right now, and you just don't see them on stage doing a TED Talk, and they seem so far away. And now you're able to see them in the comfort of their homes or their office or while they're with their family and get an idea of who they are behind the scenes. So that's the reason why we created those podcasts.
Now, I know I went back and looked, but I can't remember their name for the life of me now. Do you remember who your first podcast guest was and kind of the setup for your ever first podcast show?
Yes, I believe the first person, and that's a great question. I believe because we did over 300 or 400, maybe 600 podcasts now. I think the first person that we did the show with, I do remember it. I do remember it. The first show that I did for the podcast, it was actually me doing a training. Oh. And it was a trying time because during that time, I had just lost somebody dear to me, which was my stepdad, to suicide.
Oh,
So it was like a week from that, but I realized, because I remember that podcast, I was thinking, should I go on? But I had promoted it, and I said, should I go on? But he had a great work ethic, and I knew just personally that he would have wanted me to go ahead and do the show. And when I did that show, I shared that hey, I wasn't going to do the show, but in memory of him, I wanted to press forward, because that's one thing that he's instilled in us. He had a great attitude, and plus he had a work ethic. So unfortunately, mental health is something serious or whatnot. But at the same time, I wanted to honor him by going forward with the podcast. So I hadn't thought about that in a while, but you brought it back. That was the first podcast.
Which is really cool that it was in dedication.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
And speaking on a positive note, what I want to share with the audience, if you don't mind, Rena, is that like your family is amazing. Like your mom is amazing. I have to share this story. I kept having these likes and things on our page, and some of my team members, because I don't do all the posts on our social media, but I do have access to it. And I kept wondering, like, who is this? And I kept like I know them. And then they sent a follow, and I kept looking at it like, is this a fake page? Is this real? Is this a real person on this page? And then all of a sudden one day I was scrolling, looking on there, I kind of find out. And I wanted to share with you in this day and age where sometimes we can start just running and grabbing all the toilet paper and all the water and all the hand sanitizer, the importance of loving and sharing and giving, and how good natured people are, even though through the mass media, you might not ever hear this. Rena's mom was saying that Rena's at work, but we want to make sure that you were supported, and we want to support you all. So that's why I'm taking time to make sure that I like the stuff that you're doing. Now, notice that I got some people that live in the same city that I live in, or people that I'm actually blood related to, who doesn't take that much interest in what we're doing. But at the same time, here it is with someone who I never met, that I was supposed to meet today, but we will be able to meet again. I will be out into the Littleton areas very soon after we're cleared. But here it shows you how amazing human beings are. And with me traveling and going to these book launches, I met some great people, even though society tries to make you believe that everybody is bad. And I've been able to meet great people from different ethnic backgrounds from across the globe. And I would have never had that opportunity if I wouldn't open myself up. So if I can leave anything with people who are listening today, this is a great family. If you already know them, then I'm preaching to the choir here. But it also gives us hope, too, that you don't have to actually know somebody or meet them in person to have something in common with them. And that's the issue of the heart.
Thank you so much. She is behind, if you want to say hi. She's behind the counter.
Oh, that's cool. But she's backstage. Hi, Mom. All right. Awesome.
So as our half hour is wrapping up, I did want to ask if there was any closing piece of advice or like a statement you wanted to give to the people who are watching, because I know that some of the people who I've been talking to are also interested in writing books, and I wanted to know if you had any kind of passing words before we had to go ahead and move on.
No, not a problem at all. And once again, thank you, Rena. I think that you're awesome. But I really want to leave with the people who are tuned into this, is just taking a page from the chapter, no pun intended, from Rena, is seeing that you don't have to have it all figured out. As you heard Rena share earlier, she just made a phone call. People will work with you if they see that you're willing to invest in yourself. And that can be monetary ways of doing it, or it could be for as time for us creating content. Rena found a way to get it done. It's never going to be a perfect time, but during the COVID-19 period, this will be a fantastic time for you while you're in your home or whatnot on house arrest. I mean, what you make sure that you self-quarantine. You will take time to just actually create content. We have at the website that you see, we have a free ebook for all those who are on today. If you just go to self-publisher.30days.com, you can get a free book that will give you how to start, what's the first. So those who are saying, I don't know where to begin, that is answered for you. It's a free thing that you're able to have, that you get a book that will give you, it's not fluff, it's step-by-step, tangible steps of what you need to do. If you got your mind made up, you don't even have to have the title of the book yet. We will get you a personal book concierge to work with you on a weekly basis to guide you step by step of what you need to do. So those old school mindset of thinking traditional publishing, that you have to have everything done and shop it to a literary agent and hope that Simon and Schuster pick you up for this mega deal like you Michelle Obama or something, or Trump or something. That's probably not going to happen for the average Joe and Jane like us, but there are ways that you can get it done. And if you implement and follow the steps that we have. So if you want to go there, just make sure that you subscribe or you reach out to our company and let us know that you came from Rena Brown, and we will make sure we get you taken care of.
Thank you. And he's absolutely right. There was a lot of amazing people that I got to work with, and they gave you notifications as we went along. So thank you so much. Now, as we are moving on to our next guest, I did want to ask, did you want to stay and comment for the rest of the show, or do you have other stuff going on?
Well, I'm going to be moving around because I'm in the office, but I got some kids that I'm going to have to go and get something to eat for and after a while. And I don't want them hangry at me. But I'm at the office, but I will tune in to be able to watch it through my social media. So,
all right.
Thank y'all again, though. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. In the future, we can like shake hands and give each other a hug and whatever. So we appreciate all you've done. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed one. I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, Mr. Palmer.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so John is backstage.
Okay. So what we have going on now is we have I have another host who is going to be talking with me as we go through, and as I'm going to start signing some books and giving some shout outs. But while I am kind of like nose in the book trying to focus, I have another guest right here. Yeah, just awkward slide on in. It's okay. Just okay, and then please welcome my other host, Jameson from John's Comics with Kids.
Hey guys, how's it going? Congrats, happy birthday, happy book launch day, happy everything. It's just happy.
Oh, and thank you to everyone in the chat. I saw everyone in the chat wishing me happy birthday. I just didn't want to interrupt my publisher. Thank you all so much. So everyone, this is Ethan White. He was really nice enough to join us today, and he was actually I think one of two of my very first beta readers of the original copy of the book.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Because I think I've mentioned it before, but the book has gone through like, oh God, what is it? 11 major revisions.
I think 11.
Something like
maybe
that.
More,
it's been edited like 11 times. It's been a lot. But I remember I first started working on the first chapter, naughtily a little bit in school, and we were in economics class, and I was just not having economics that day, so I started writing the first chapter of the book. So, and I remember turning it to him and one of our other friends who I think is watching, Torio Arguello, and they were my first ever beta readers for the first few chapters of the book. So, and I remember distinctly what scene it was that you read.
Can I ask, like, so I've been in writer workshops and things like that, and it is one of the hardest things to like hand your baby over to people, and even if you trust them implicitly, it's such a like there's such a connection that happens there, right? What were the instructions that you gave?
Well, so they all knew that I was a writer because basically, we met in 8th grade, but anybody else who had known me from 7th grade knew that I was a heavy writer. I was terrible in middle school, but I did write. So, when I had, so they all knew that I was working on short stories. I'd be working on short stories for my creative writing class. So I just turned to him and our other friend Tori, and I was like, hey, I am working on this. It's not for school. It's just my own kind of project. This is the first chapter of it. What do you think? And it was hard, John. I am not disclosing that because so I know I sent a few of the books out early because some people wanted theirs before the signing. They didn't sign live. So and some people didn't want a shout out. So thank you to everyone who's already ordered a book and has already gotten their book. If you haven't yet, but know it's getting shipped, it's still in the mail. I promise it's coming. So I can spoil this just a little bit since everybody's going to be getting the book already or will be getting it in the next few days. There's a scene in the first chapter because, if you watched my show with Javi, you know that the book has something to do with monsters called Datsos. And there is a scene where your lead character comes upon a dead cattle that has been attacked by a Datso. And that was the scene I had you guys read. And I believe your exact words were, what the?
Yeah. It was a slight explicitive. Yeah.
It's a little different from what I usually wrote. Yes.
I think my exact comment for that is like, ew. What did you do? How did you do this? This is not really right.
Well, I had a great writing teacher who one of the pearls of wisdom he dropped was that like he said these two things go aside like parallel on the same road. Like if somebody says something's not working, they're probably right. But if somebody tells you how to fix it, they're probably wrong. It is like those two pieces of advice I found like endlessly useful. Just the idea that if somebody's pointing out something that's not working for you or working for them as the reader, take it in. But if they tell you how to fix it, they're probably wrong. You should ignore that.
I agree.
So I kept like using that because I've noticed that a lot of times people tell you how to fix it and you're like, no, that's not my story. But if they'll tell you that something's not working, you're like, yeah, I got to figure out how to do that better.
Yeah.
But it's all in here. It's all in here. But they can point out sometimes things that you don't notice aren't really working well. But usually when they're telling you, oh, you should totally do this, it's like, no, that's not it.
Which actually did happen to me. I don't remember who it was anymore, but I've had some people give me back feedback. When I was originally planning to upload it to Amazon, my mom had graciously sacrificed her printer at work to print out like 6 beta copies of this 100-page monster, and I think it was 400 pages at the time, even before the last final revision, and I cut a lot of stuff out. And I had sent it out, and I remembered some people were like, well, this kind of contradicts this. And I was like, yeah, okay, I need to fix that. And then I don't remember what the instance was, but they said something along the lines of, oh, you should do this instead of this. I think the story would flow so much better if blank did blank.
Right.
But that's not what's supposed to happen here. I understand why there's a little bit of confusion, and I need to fix that, but that's not what that is. Yeah. So I understand completely what you're saying.
And the best teachers I had were really great about like firstly letting everybody, of course, do compliments because you got to have like, okay, I'm vulnerable right now. Let's hear what was working. Just give me the good news first. And once that's out of the way, then being able to go in and have people tell you, this was confusing. I don't know that this worked. This emotional beat didn't happen. This whatever. But the second it veers into advice, like do this, that's when the whole thing the house of cards comes down.
And you're like, okay, never mind. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wait, what's going on? What? I just see this run past the chat.
Because Old Wolf is saying it was a great use of office supplies.
Oh, okay. I was like,
we're keeping secrets here.
Thanks for keeping that on the DL. Right?
Sorry, but I wanted to know what was going on.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
No, I've done the same thing. I've printed stuff at work. It's like, that's about 600 pages, but
Or it might have even been the Staples printer. You might have sacrificed the Staples printer at your local Staples.
There you go.
Could have been that because I think the front binding was laminated. So I think.
Well, we had a couple of initial ones that I printed at work. And
Yeah.
then we had six that we took to Florida and gave to family and such. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So.
Before we go too much further, have you told everybody, I'm sure it's in the description for the video, the best way to buy the book if they're listening to this and they want to purchase one? Is it like isleofthedark.com? Is that still the best way to do it? Or
yes, www.isleofthedark.com.
There it is.
I know Mom has posted it in the chat a couple of times, but I had not mentioned it. I should also put in this disclaimer now. I kind of just jump right in because I wanted to give my publisher his time because I knew that he was a little tight for schedule. I do want to disclaim that when I'm giving shout outs, guys, if I do not reach everyone, I am very, very sorry. I've made 6 different lists of people of what they want and which ones have been mailed and who paid with which method. So if I miss someone, I am very, very sorry. I am going to try and get to everyone as much as I can. And also our Wi-Fi was a little spotty. I should have mentioned that at the beginning too. If we suddenly dip, John, I am counting on you to lead the charge.
I got a whole musical number ready.
Perfect. Yes, so thank you, Matt. It is www.isleofthedark.com. It is the easiest method. If obviously you don't live near me, it is the easiest method
and the least expensive.
Yeah, because it is up on Amazon. We did mention that, but Amazon is like totally impersonal. So if you want to but it is more expensive. So if you want to like remain completely anonymous, you're like, hey, I want to read the book, but I don't really care about you as a person. You can go ahead and you can buy it off of Amazon. But I have no way of tracking it. So you just get the book and I never know about it. So if you would rather have it signed and if you wanted to have like a special message on the inside, you need to do it through the isleofthedark.com so that it comes to me. I can sign it. I can reach out to you, blah, blah, blah. So isleofthedark.com is the easiest method and it is cheaper than Amazon.
Okay, so there was a chat that says audiobook when.
Yeah, and I did answer her, not yet, but go ahead and explain that, Rain.
Okay, so oh, hi Harmony. That was Harmony. Hi. I should show off the picture that she drew for this morning. So the audiobook, so what happened with the audiobook is I thought originally that the Amazon was going to be the audiobook. But it's not. So if you order it off of Amazon, you do get your paper copy like I have, ready to ship out to you guys. But what we are going to be doing is Mr. Palmer, who y'all just saw, he and his team actually do format the manuscripts to become an ebook. So I don't know about like us reading it. I don't know if it's like if you want to just like plug it in and you hear your 16 different accents for different people. Not exactly sure about that one, but it will be eventually available for you to like get on a Kindle or a tablet. So that will come later. Oh!
What?
Guess number 4. Hi.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Hey, I just wanted to stop in really quick and tell you how proud I am of you, how amazing it is that you are doing what you're doing. I'm somebody that writes books, and I've been on that journey, and it's so hard, and I'm so stinking proud of you. So congratulations. I love you a ton, and happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you for stopping in. I know you couldn't stay for very long. So thank you. Thank you for dropping in, and thank you.
Of course. Didn't mean to interrupt. I love you guys, and I hope you have a blast. I will be watching backstage, but happy birthday and congratulations, okay?
Thank you. Thank you
right.
so much.
See you guys later, John.
Bye.
Bye, Matt. Thank you. Great
Yeah,
show.
you're welcome. Congrats.
I know, right?
I can't believe I didn't wear my swag. I don't know what I'm thinking. Sorry.
I didn't wear my swag either. Mine, you can't really see it in the camera, but it's like almost like a Datso head. That's why I purposely wore this shirt. Okay, so it is 45 minutes in, and I haven't signed a single book yet. We advertised this yesterday, but this is the official book signing pen.
Ooh.
So it is a platinum pink. I know it's really hard to tell on the.
I can see the pink for sure.
But so it's like it came with its own like special bed case and everything that I have been kind of obsessively keeping it in. So I am going to start signing books and giving shout outs. But John, if you have anything that you want to say, or if you want to tease someone in the chat, go right ahead. I'm going to be fairly quiet while I'm focused.
I don't see Perry in there, so there's not a lot of people heckling. So that's all good.
Okay, so the first charge of books.
Explain how we're going to be doing it.
Okay, so we have some people did order multiple books, and they are for different people because they live in like a different state. So what we're doing is I'm doing family first. Some of the family who did want shout outs on the stream, and I know I've seen some of them in. So we are going to be doing one of the family charges first. I don't know which one's the easiest.
Let's start with Jeff, Calla, Savannah.
Okay, so I just hand me the charge because I'm going to need to scan.
And you can show them our nerdy system. We have every book.
So we have every book labeled because I knew I was not going to be able to remember what everybody wanted. So,
you make a very good Vanna White.
Yes.
Funnily enough.
Oops, I missed the last one.
How could you forget one?
I forgot one. I'm sorry. So these are for my Uncle Jeff and his family, Kim, Savannah, and Calla. So my aunt, my uncle, my cousins. One book is for each of them. So each of you is getting your own book with your name in it. And then the fifth one I am just signing. So don't mind me as I awkwardly quiet down here for a few moments.
So John, how is Harry Potter going? You've been like rocking those.
Flying, dude. Yeah.
3 chapters left, man. Just 3 more. We're gonna hopefully get through a couple of those today. Charlie and I whittling it down little by little.
Nice.
But I read those are my favorite chapters probably in the whole series that we read yesterday. I don't know, something about Prisoner of Azkaban and the revelations that Harry goes through when he's learning about his parents' time at Hogwarts and kind of learning about the relationships between people like Lupin and Sirius Black and Snape and Peter Pettigrew and all that stuff. It's very tragic, poetic, almost some of that. And I think watching the beats that J.K. Rowling sets up, the revelations and the timing of it, it's all very meticulous. I think, considering it's basically a giant exposition. Those 2-3 chapters are basically just serious. It's the what do they call it? It's the detective in the parlor scene, right? Where the detective is basically just going to reveal how everything happened, how you didn't know.
Right.
Yeah. It's basically that moment when they reveal everything, and yet it's riveting. You know, they're revealing who the bad guy is. They're revealing how he's been in hiding all this time, how they've caught him, how they figured it all out, and who everybody's real allegiance belongs to. And it could be incredibly boring, confusing, or uninteresting, but instead it's emotional and just it's all from a place of emotion.
Well, I really like how in the third book, which is something they never mention in the movies, it's how Crookshanks has been Sirius Black's partner in crime for the whole book, and they never even allude to that in the third one. They
cut Crookshanks way down. Yeah, Crookshanks is useful at the beginning, and then after like the middle of the story, Crookshanks is kind of forgotten.
Non-existent.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that whole Shrieking Shack I don't even want to call it a scene because it's like 4 chapters long, and from beginning to end, it like spreads across 4 chapters. But I bawled the first time I read it. Just hearing from people like Sirius Black, who happily sat in prison for 12 years for something he didn't do. He did not kill all those innocent people, but he didn't profess his innocence either. He just took the rap. And the moment that always gets me is when Lupin and Sirius look at each other as friends for the first time in like 12 years.
Yeah.
Because these were people that were like Ron and Harry and Hermione all through school. And then this thing happened, right? This horrible murder of their friends happens. And both of them thought the other person was the true villain, right? Sirius didn't trust Lupin enough to make him the secret keeper for the Potter family. He didn't trust him because he's a werewolf or whatever. He didn't trust him. And after the murder and everything with Peter Pettigrew, Lupin believes Sirius to be the spy, believes him to be the villain. So both of them have this divide. And that moment when they both realize that they've been duped, that they've thrown a friendship away because of lies, is powerful. Yeah, I love that whole relationship between all those characters. It's just
and how they all come together. Okay. So the first set.
So for the first set was so I have five books here. I'm trying to turn them around to be spine forward. So the first 5 were for my Uncle Jeff, my Aunt Kim, and my 2 cousins, Savannah and Calla, and then they have a blank one that they're going to give away to someone. Thank you guys so much. It's just gonna be like one of those instances where, you know, it's like only a certain number of these original paper-bound copies have ever been made, and you just got some random dude who lives somewhere and he's like, I can make this book.
It's a first print, man.
Hey,
they are first print.
And I have pre-reader copies similar to this, and they are worth a fortune, from like Elizabeth Peters and Diane Mott Davidson.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
I
have
have
be famous and rich.
Oh, when I become rich and famous, I have a box in my room that is for it's when I sent out originally my beta reader copies, the ones that we spent like 1,200 pages making, and all that. We'd saved one copy and we mailed it to ourselves so that just in case if anybody had gotten their hands on one of the manuscripts and was like, "Ooh, I'm going to go sell this," we had federal post office dates claiming that they were ours from the day that we mailed.
Wow, that's some lawyer magic there. I love
I may be a little bit OCD. Hey, and you know what? I just want to give a shout out to my sister Kim, because what a great idea, that 5th book. They're donating it to the library.
Epic.
Oh,
that is
really
cool.
I didn't know that's what they were doing with the 5th one.
That is super cool. They just dropped it in the chat. So
thank you
to that.
Guys so much.
Okay, so that one is for Grandma.
Okay, so this one is for my grandma, and she is also getting a blank copy to give away to one of her friends. This one is for Grandma. Thank you guys so much.
Gotta support. Gotta love a good grandma, man.
Right.
So supportive.
And she has always been really, really supportive. And I don't get to see her very often because she lives in Florida. And so when we see her, it's like a once a year or once every few years kind of deal.
Because she lives in Florida. She's far away.
Yeah, that's a long way to go.
Last year was my brother's first ever time going to Florida and seeing her home for the first time. I've been to Florida a few times, so I've been to her home like 3 or 4 times.
Watched our cats and our plants.
Yeah, and he was our animal babysitter.
I still fought with one of them.
Yeah.
That is my mortal enemy.
There's-
Number 3.
All of my cats love him except for one of them. It's kind of
Oh,
funny.
don't cry, Grandma. It's okay.
Oh no, Grandma, don't cry.
No
I love you guys.
Hey, Perry. Oh, now. Okay, Perry is here,
Oh, okay,
John.
John, here you go.
Can
Go for
unleash the
it.
beast. Yes.
No. Yeah. I think Perry's awesome. Apparently, the only people that don't like Perry are Disney because they took down his latest video.
Oh, I saw that. And then they had this big message on there. You have violated the copyright law, blah, blah, blah.
What are we gonna do? He got hit by the mouse pretty hard, I'll tell you.
Well,
But I
that
can't believe, hey,
our reunion show last week, they pulled us down initially. So
he still tried to upload it. He was successful with. He did 2 Iron Man movies and a Thor movie and got away with it. So he's only missed a 1 for 4. It's pretty
I
impressive.
actually saw it pop back up this morning. Did they pull it again?
He says he's still trying to upload it, so I don't know.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Yeah. Remember isleofthedark.com, everybody. There it is. Boom. And I heard you were saying that the ebook you're working on, right?
Yes. So that's probably going to be in the next couple of weeks.
In the next couple of weeks, and also kind of depending on the whole COVID thing, because if COVID winds down, then we're going to go back to our LCS and have instead of the launch, it'll be a signing.
A signing event, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it will be and we can just have people come in, his customers, have family come in again if they still want to come in and see how everything
Absolutely.
is, whatever.
Yeah.
So it'll so if we can do that again, then it'll probably be a live signing or 2 first, and then we'll work on the ebooks.
Gotcha.
I know. I'm
So much. No, I was asking Mom. Mom can answer. You can just keep working the pen there. I'm trying to think if. When's the and then there's an audible version?
I don't think so.
I don't
Not
think
yet.
we're not there yet. Right now, we're in the process of applying to Barnes and Noble, and we're trying to get in at a local bookstore here called Tattered Book Cover.
Yep.
There's
There's another store in Frisco,
Gotcha.
up near like Breckenridge and up where like all the fancy ski resorts are. There's a little bookstore down there that I'm hoping maybe I can get it in there. Okay, that one's already pre-signed. So these ones are
great.
good.
All right. So let's.
Thank you again for Grandma. And
Hello,
then
JP Budget Collecting's in the chat. Thank you for coming by, JP.
Okay. And then this is the last of the family batch, and then we're going to start doing
shout outs. Yeah.
Yep.
So and then so these last 3 are also for family. These are for my Aunt Karen, so my grandma's sister. And yep. Hi. I am using the birthday pen, and it's awesome. So she got 3 books, one for her son, and then one for actually one of my other beta readers. So I had sent the copy out to her, and she knew I think his name is Jim, and I think he is a college professor, and she's friends with him, and she let him read it, and he actually went through and he found some of the initial like edits and errors and stuff like that. So one is to him as a thank you for his initial.
And then also you're going to be.
And then so for Chris, Chris is also getting a shirt. We have been promising him a shirt for a while.
The whole swag set. You're going to be set up
With the book.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
That's awesome.
You're going to help her.
Okay.
So basically, we put this in between so there's no bleed through.
Yeah. Don't mind us. This is the technicality of what you guys don't ever get to see.
Yeah.
Sean is saying, is the Isle of the Dark part of a much larger world of the dark? And I would believe that there is more, both as far as further volumes as well as a larger world that Rena would love to explore here.
It's actually really funny because I think it was just yesterday or the day before. Thank you, Ethan. I really appreciate it.
Okay, why don't you hold it up so that Chris can see?
Yeah, so Chris, this will be, if we can shake out the envelope here. Chris, this will be your shirt. And you can kind of see the signature inscribed right here. Oh yes. So this necklace here, so the lovely lady on screen, Dawn Marie Miller, she makes jewelry, and this is one of the pieces that she made for me for Christmas. Because my Batman necklace that you might all recognize from past events broke before Christmas time. Like, I could not save it. The pendant fell out, it was rusted, fell off the chain. I couldn't save it anymore. So she was really, really kind enough to make a new one.
It was a Christmas gift.
It was
She
a Christmas
custom-made it
gift
for
from
you.
her and from my mom's. Well, she made it from mom to me. So thank you. So thank you so much, Dawn.
Yeah, and
It
you
is
can
really
check
pretty.
her out. She has Dawn, drop your link in the chat if you would, because she custom makes tons of pieces.
She does, yes, and they're gorgeous.
Yes, they are. She makes bracelets. I ordered a bracelet.
I have one of her sunflower bracelets. I think it's upstairs in the box.
She does necklaces, earrings, all kinds of stuff. So check her out.
Okay, we need to. Okay, so we have our final guest has arrived. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this. You may need to just come sit behind us.
Yeah.
Oh, we're bringing a short person. I'm the shortest of you two. This is bad, guys.
Okay, we'll scoot it forward. We'll scoot the mic forward. Okay, there we go. And
I'm sitting on my knees.
I'm gonna be kind of awkwardly half off screen because I'm signing books.
So as you guys know, Jake is the cover artist.
This is the cover artist.
Yep.
So flash the book shamelessly here for a second. So hi.
Hi.
How was work?
Ugh.
Oh.
Okay, Rena, you need to stay on point.
I know.
Everyone's going to Starbucks.
Ethan.
Okay, hey Perry, do you want your book signed live? Thank you very much for your purchase.
Ooh, hey, live purchasing. Woot woot.
Just drop it in the chat if you want it autographed and if you want it personalized.
Personalize it to Brendan Fraser fan.
That is kind of an inside joke to those who don't know. John and I have had kind of an ongoing game, as it were, that Rena was in on. Okay, yes, he wants it signed.
Okay.
All right. So Perry.
Mom is doing like all the behind the scenes stuff. So what you guys can't see is we just have like stacks of books that have these little slips of paper in them telling me who they go to and what to put inside. So as we are getting requests on stream, she is just fluctuating through and signing new books. Or writing messages in
so John and I had this game kind of on Instagram, and he private messaged Rena and pulled the ultimate prank on me that lasted probably a week, I would say.
A few weeks. Yeah.
Where he messaged Rena directly and had her torture me with VHS tapes of Indiana Jones, and she put them all over the house, and I was so darn unobservant I didn't even notice them. So she and John had good laugh at my expense for quite some time. So that was fun.
When you put it like that, at my expense.
Well,
at the expense of your mom's sanity.
Hi, Glitter. Hi, Tori.
The chat, my chat's not keeping up.
Okay, yeah. I'm trying to open up my phone.
You guys shout out. Absolutely. Yes.
A shout out to Brendan Fraser. I enjoyed his
Watch
work.
his tag pop up in the description when we go up.
And this sums it up right there. There you go, Dawn.
I disagree with that, Perry. I strongly disagree with that.
There you go.
Crystal Skull is easily way better than the Mummy, and that was the worst Indiana Jones.
But Brandon Fraser in a loincloth is not going to hurt my feelings. I mean,
I think if you call Perry as your chief witness, you're probably in trouble.
So, how are the girls doing with homeschooling, John? How are you doing? Because you're a teacher. So
yeah, it's way more work, I think, for everybody than a classroom setup. I mean, there's no replacing that. So it's complicated, and it's a lot of like building routines and being consistent. And I almost feel like the parents need more teaching than their kids in some ways. It's just a lot of it is changing the routines you've had at home so that there can be this like split or, between work life and home life, and let the kids have their work spaces and things. Because it's complicated, and all the routines and systems that we've built around using home as a release kind of place play against us when we're trying to make it a let's focus now kind of place. So I got a lot of kids that have siblings, and everybody's trying to do their live meets, and there's only one computer, and everybody's trying to figure out how to make it work. And mom's working from home, and dad's working from home, and everybody wants a snack, and everybody needs a quiet place. And it's complicated. It's very challenging.
It is. Absolutely.
My Cade, my little brother, has actually been kind of secretly happy with it.
It's complicated.
because we work in our kitchen, so, and he's not required to have to be on screen, so he just comes around, and his teacher will be talking, and he'll just get up and he's like, I'm gonna get a drink. So he's just walking around listening to his teacher going around the kitchen.
I can always tell those kids because they're the ones who turn their camera off. In the meeting, they're the ones that have the camera off, and I'm like, okay, he's getting.
We're not allowed to have the.
They're not allowed to have the camera on.
They have to be muted at all times unless they are given permission.
Yeah, my kids have to mute their microphones, but I like it when their camera's on just so I can see what they're doing. There's that kid who's like got their foot up and they're trimming their nails, and you're like, hey, look, kid, this is math. You might need a piece of paper and a pencil.
Aunt Margaret and Uncle Ed just thought about
so.
it. Oh, okay.
But generally, my kids are real focused, and they've been doing really well. But it's just a lot of growth, a lot of changing, and a lot of learning. That they have to learn these technologies and stuff. My kids are getting really good at it. My students can really manage it well, and my daughters, I don't know, they're getting there. They're getting there. They're cleaning their rooms today because the homeschool environment got a little wild this last few days.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Now remind, I may have missed a bit. What grades do you teach again?
I teach third grade.
Third grade. Well, hey, if your kids are disciplined enough to stay, on screen and just listen, I mean, good on them.
Yeah, I meet with them for like a couple hours a day. The rest of the time, they're just working on the assignments that I post in our Google Classroom. But the meetings, like we meet in the morning to go over the day's schedule and maybe do a quick lesson, and then we meet in the afternoon to kind of check in on how it went. So the rest of the time they're on their own, unless I have a couple of teachers that will jump in and do like a foreign language class, or there's a handcraft teacher. So they have like a knitting class that they'll do once a week.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a lot of fun little classes that jump in. They have an art teacher who jumps in for a half an hour a week. So like, we'll do
fun.
A little art class. Yeah. She tells them what they need in advance, what they've got to do in advance. And then in her 30-minute lesson, she'll go over what the project should look like next, and then they meet again next week.
Okay, so real quick. So this one that I just signed, we just had another family member buy one. This is for my Aunt Margaret and my Uncle Ed, one of my other grandma's sisters.
Nice.
And her husband. So thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think that was all of family. So now we are going to be shouting out members of the community who have gotten books. And I think a couple of you guys have either received your book or your books are in the mail already. I think they're coming.
Well, I think first and foremost, first person that we should sign.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I know exactly where you're going with this.
Because,
Yes.
I mean, hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes. So this next one that I have here is for you, John. To which case, did you want anything written in it since you're live and since
Yeah, I'm gonna have you do it for Kate and Charlie. So I'm typing their names in the chat, so you know. I mean, it's the basic spellings for Kate and Charlie, the boy version of Charlie, like Chocolate Factory Charlie.
Right. Okay. And then Kate is just Kate.
Kate, yeah.
So, and if you guys don't follow John, you should. He's John's Comics with Kids on YouTube. Go check him out.
I think we have his link in the description.
We do. Yeah, we have your link in the description because you were hosting today.
And I'm typing in the chat too, so I always find it's easy just to tap on somebody's name and you go to their channel. It's been a great way to like check in on people that you're like, oh, I've never heard of that person's name before. I want to go look at their channel.
So, John, do you want your name in it as well, or just to keep?
No, let's make it to the girls. I mean, I'm going to read it before them, but but no, it definitely should be for the girls.
Got you.
I actually should at some point I should probably buy another one. Otherwise, I'm going to have to deal with sharing. We'll have to see how that goes. Yes, Perry, I have a channel, and sometimes it's even more than Harry Potter. You just never know.
Wow.
These days, not so much, but sometimes. Kachung is asking about the Dungeons and Dragons game we played the other night. So White Whale Comics has been organizing a YouTube comic book community Dungeons and Dragons game, which is basically like, let's take our nerd to like a new level. Like, how nerd can we go with this? But it was a lot of fun. So it was Big Will.
Yes.
Harry.
It was Big Will. It was JP Budget Collecting. It was Comics Misexplained. It was Daymares and myself and Alec on Thursday night. We did an offline, not a live YouTube show. We did it offline just to go through and learn how to do it, because some of us were like, I haven't done this in a while. The rules have all changed. And so we will hopefully do one live soon. But it was a lot of fun and very entertaining. Yes, nerd level achieved. Hey, Super Rusty, I figured at some point, one day it'll happen.
Right.
You got your speed. You got your speed, brother.
So while we're at it, this one is for Perry, since you guys are kind of having your throwdown right now. So Perry, this one is for you, and I will be signing it. But did you want your name in it or personalized at all?
Yes, he does want it personalized.
Okay.
And you should probably sign it with Love, Brandon Fraser. No, I'm just kidding.
I should. I can just put a music note. Just a music
Sorry,
note.
Kachung, I tried to explain it. I don't think I explained it very well, but it was offline. I think everybody was nervous that the first time we did this, like, how long is it going to take and how interesting and entertaining would it be to watch people play Dungeons and Dragons? And so we were just trying to like work through some of the routines, but I do believe Alec recorded it. Like you can record in StreamYard or make a private stream. So he might be able to edit it into an episode of something at some point. So we definitely got some recording happening of it, posterity wise.
I'd watch it.
So Jake, while we have you here, let's briefly talk about the cover art. Because I'm sure there's some people that don't know the story.
I was trying to ambush you.
Let's go ahead and talk about, and I'll give you a prop because that's not anybody specifically.
Yeah, all my books are at home.
As a matter of fact, I can run up and get the poster. I'll be right back.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
Real quick before we ambush you with questions,
Yes.
this next one is for glitter and duct tape. I keep blocking you out. I feel so bad. This one is for glitter and duct tape. So thank you so much. No. Quit it. This is what happens when I have too many people on screen.
It's for glitter and duct tape. We love you.
So thank you so much. And I also want to mention, because I know you all wished me happy birthday in the chat, but thank you everybody who's been wishing me a happy birthday on Instagram. I know Matt and I know OG Space Buns. So if you don't know who she is, she has a YouTube channel. You guys have all been sending me such nice messages on Instagram, and thank you all so much. It means a lot. Thank you. Right, back to glitter and duct. Oh, hi. Do you have the poster?
Yes. So why don't you two talk about that, okay?
There we are.
While Rena is signing.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it in frame.
Yes.
Is it good?
There. Yeah, it's in frame.
It's kind of
Blocking
infringing.
Yeah, I'll just block. It's fine.
There we go.
It's like Corona in my social life.
That's a mood.
So you actually drew this with here. Ethan, scooted over because we need to ambush you with questions.
Okay, yeah.
So you drew that with what?
Alcohol markers and Sharpie. Lots of Sharpie.
Which took you how long?
24 plus hours.
Dang.
Roughly.
Awesome.
I don't know.
That's awesome.
It was a while.
It was a while.
Yeah. I mean, I want to say it took
a few months to like.
Well, from concept
to
complete.
To completion, it took a few months.
You put tons of heart and hard work into it. It was amazing, and that was, of course, before we even knew it was going to be the cover of the book.
Yeah. It was just a poster.
I commissioned Jake as a gift for Rena for Christmas. And he really just poured his guts into it, and it's beautiful. And when we were trying to think about what to use as the cover of the book, we were all like, oh my gosh, well, that was custom made for the book. Let's use that. So yeah, it turned out perfectly.
Well, and it kind of, because we were trying to hint around to the cover, because when I was working with my publisher and his team, he had wanted me to work with one of his cover design people, because I was way ahead of the game. Because normally what Darren does is he has people who come to him with like half finished manuscripts or not sure what they want to do with the story idea, and he has a separate team that works with them. But I was like, I have the manuscript, I have the title, I can send it to you right now. And he's like, okay, well then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my cover artist team work with you. And
this is for Drew.
Okay. And so I spent a few hours and I sent him, if you all have watched me and Javi's stream that we did to announce the launch, his song and the slideshow we put together, a lot of those slideshow pictures were the pictures I sent to his cover artist designer as references and inspirations. But then along with them all, I sent him a picture of the poster. And I said, hey, this is a poster that I had made. He had made for Christmas last year, right? Not this Christmas, but the year before.
Grade,
yeah, so the year
2 years ago.
Wow, has it really been 2 years?
It's been a while.
It has been a while. Oh my
Wait, no,
gosh.
10th grade, maybe? I don't know.
10th. I think it was the last, not this Christmas, but the Christmas before.
Yeah, anyway, go ahead.
But it was so I sent him the picture and I was like, hey, this is just some of the key points, key characters from the book, kind of put into this poster already. So I don't know if you want your cover design person to take a look at this for inspiration. So he gets back to me and he's like, who drew that for you? What is that from? And I'm like, well, it was a Christmas present. And he's like, well, why don't we just use that? And I was like, okay. So it worked out really, really.
That's perfect. That's awesome.
Quick sidebar.
We got Sam's Tangled Web in the chat. Thanks, Sam. And it
Hi,
sounds like Just a Rican and a comic and his comics just bought a book too.
I saw Rican. Yep. Mm-hmm. So this one that I'm signing for right now is for Drew, the comic assassin. So thank you so much, Drew. You have been really, really supportive, and after every show, I've gotten a message from him, and he's just always so nice and so sweet. So thank you, Drew, so much. So this one is for him.
You can put that down now.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not complaining because no longer I'm not the shortest one anymore.
So funny! Oh my gosh, thank you.
I'm just like
that is amazing. You're just Vanna White.
I have to change my holding. I have to change my position, the way I'm standing.
There, kind of the same height as you now. All right.
There, you know what? There.
Well, nice. I mean, Ethan does have a year aren't you? I think. Plus, your dad is what, like 10 feet tall?
2 years.
Yeah.
He has
My mom's
2
short,
years
though.
on him. Yeah.
My mom's short though, so it all balances out stupidly.
I'm just short.
Rena.
All I know is that I'm taller than you, and I think
This
Rena
is for
but
Uncle
barely.
Mike.
Okay,
yeah, no,
so
Rena
thank
is
you,
most
Drew.
definitely taller than I
It's
am.
for Uncle Mike
You know.
and Sandy.
I don't remember if I'm taller than you or not. I think it was like barely
Be sure to
by a
say
hair.
Yeah, so we actually had one more family. So this is for my my uncle Mike and his wife Sandy. So thank you guys so much. So I love how we're just getting more in. I kind of just looking at the stack of books. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're like at a standstill. They just keep coming.
Well, then talk less and sign more.
I'm trying. You guys are asking me questions. I'm like,
I won't ask you any more
I
questions.
will
I'm
answer
sorry.
Question I see.
Yes, or at least we'll try to.
Even if it's incorrect, I will give an
It-
answer.
It looks like the Downright Nerdy podcast has purchased a copy as well. So thank you to Mike and Riley.
Mike and Riley, I'm so sorry that our stream was at the same time as yours. I'm so sorry about that.
It's all right. His show is making the mistake that yours isn't. He puts the attractive lady in the background and the big bald guy right in the front, and not as many people want to watch that show. You know, you gotta think your audience through, Michael. Right? She's like way off in the distance. What are you doing?
That
on
is
there, man?
amazing. Oh my gosh.
Poor Riley. Poor Riley. John, I see your Wonder Woman box behind you. Oh, you want me to go through the Wonder Woman box a little bit? Where's that one?
Okay. So let's do Russ because I saw him in the chat and we
Yes.
have two things. Now, Russ.
Okay, so Super Russ, he was our book winner. Well, so when we promised a book,
by Drew.
yes, he was prize tagged by Drew. He was given the AOK. So I forget which show that was, but Drew won a book. But he already had a shirt. So, and the prize was a shirt and a book. So Drew was like, you know what? I'm just going to give it to Super Russ. So this is Super Russ's book and his shirt, which I need to hop up real quick.
And he has been so super supportive, Russ. I hope you're still in the chat.
I know. I've seen him off and on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kachung, this does not house all of my DC books. This is mainly, let's see, Wonder Woman and the Flash and a few, and Deathstroke. I got like these 3 Batman boxes over here. Batgirl, Superman has his own box and the Justice League has their own box. So I got like another like 3 or 4 DCs over there. So I do have other ones, but this is Wonder Woman. She's got her own space here. Slowly growing a Wonder Woman collection.
Okay, you can just hang that up right there and then go
So this
ahead
is for Super Russ.
Yeah,
so
and then
thank
sign
you.
his
And then sign the book. Yes.
Yeah. Congratulations, Russ. You've been so supportive. We're so happy that you're able to get both.
Thank you. I keep closing the pen. So you were saying, John?
I was saying I'm not going to probably share Wonder Woman on your mom's channel. She's probably going to lose her mind.
John gets removed from stream right away.
I'll put the lid back on this box right here. I did have it look. It's like perfectly like right on camera there for her.
That's no. You can go ahead and show it.
Actually, I can pull a Batman box and replace it.
Oh, there you go. Hey, Mike, do you want the book made out to you and Riley, or want it just signed? Just drop it in the chat and I'll see. Okay, so next, Rod is next.
Got you.
Thank you so much for your purchase today.
And yes, thank you. So this one is for Rod, Just a Rican, and his comics. You guys should definitely go check him out. Yeah.
I think Rita, what's
Now
your
look, now it's Batman. Now Sharon can be happier.
71. Yeah.
Let's see what I got in here. So let's do some random pulls for my Batman box. Let's see what we get.
Ooh.
What do we got here?
Instantly grabs mom's attention with the word Batman.
So this time I got a Batman adjacent character. I got the female version of the Question. He's awesome. Renee Montoya, underrated. Love Renee Montoya.
I killed my father.
Takes a lot of booty. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, that's a cool cover.
Oh, let's see then. Ooh.
I don't know how many abs he's got there, but he's got a bunch.
Yeah, like what in the... And I like how it's highlighted too.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I need to do more sit-ups. Oh my gosh.
Those are more, I guess those are lats, right? Those are the side, the rib,
Right.
like the side muscle. He's really worked out there, man.
This one is to Sam from Sam's Tangled Web.
Yay, Sam.
Sam, thank you so much.
The greatest moderator ever.
We'll do yours next, Kavi.
Oh, Kavi's in the chat?
Yeah, he is. He's got us playing in the background, but he has to work today. But since he just dropped a comment, I want to sign his next.
Oh, Comics on the Mind is in the chat. Thank you for coming by, Kirk.
Hey, Turk. It's so good to see you. Okay, so that one's for Kavi. All right, so
this
now we
one's
got
for
you.
Kavi, Comic Books NYC. Thank you for listening to us in the background. I'm sorry you have to work.
Yes, of course you can still buy a book, Kirk. John,
I'll put the link. Yeah, I'll do it.
you were the best ever.
I got you.
And Sam, just so you know, those 2 comic books that you wanted, the She-Hulk and the other one, I'll send those at the same time as the book.
Hello, Leroy. Thank you for coming by. And Steve Whiting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
This time I pulled Batman Year 3. Look at everybody can enjoy the deep V-neck shirt that
Right.
rocking there. Look at that. It looks like disco era.
Disco
What
back.
the look, baby.
All right, so this one is for, we're both showing books same time. This one is for JP, Budget Collecting. So thank you, JP.
George, if you buy one book, you get the second at full price.
It's a
But you're
deal.
not wrong,
No,
man.
you're not.
By 30 discount.
Yes. Rumor has it if you buy 872, you'll get like a $3 discount.
Well, yeah, we'll give you one for free if you buy 172.
There you go.
Who was that for?
172.
That was for JP. I mentioned
Okay.
that.
Oh,
Yep.
you did?
Yep.
Okay.
That's
All right.
$21,000.
So
Let's do it.
let's go ahead and do
Hey,
George.
I wouldn't be
Since
hurting for
George is here, let's go ahead and sign
$21,000.
George
Stimulus
next.
checks, you know?
Okay, so in which case this is for D-Runk right here. So thank you very much. Yeah, so what was that?
$21,000.
I wouldn't be hurting for $21,000 if someone wants 800 books. I wouldn't object to that.
Sell them all. Sell them all.
Oh, honey, yes.
Sell them all.
All right.
All right, and this is to Brian and Dawn. Now remember,
Okay.
Dawn is the one who made
So
that necklace.
this book goes to Brian Miller and Dawn Marie. She's the one who made this. So thank you guys so much. They have been waiting for the book since our Florida trip last year. So thank you guys so much for being patient.
Yeah, they were one of our beta readers.
Yeah,
too.
they were one of the
Awesome.
beta readers. So thank you guys so much for being patient, and you will notice that there is some changes in this book since the last time you guys read it. Ha ha ha. So
I mean, there's definitely been changes since the last time I've actually read it.
I know. Oh yeah, you both have read the original versions,
Oh,
and neither.
yeah.
You know what's funny, John? No one has read the new version. Everybody who's read the old version of the book and has like read it from like front to back, no one knows what I've changed. I
Ooh.
and my editor is the only ones who knows like what's been changed.
Thank you so much, Kirk. Do you want it signed or do you want it personalized? Or both?
Or both.
I know all 7. You get a shirt.
I'm just going to keep doing this, I guess, because this keeps her writing and me doing nothing.
Yeah, that is perfect.
Yeah,
Dawn.
keep
Thank
going.
you,
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Ooh, this is the foldable? I don't know if this is the foldable. Look at Jim Lee Batman. You got. Hey, you're not supposed to look.
Oh.
You're supposed to focus.
I don't have a book in my hands right now.
All right. So
Focus.
is for Roger's daughter.
Sign it.
So please make it to Olivia.
Olivia. Okay.
And
L-O.
it's written down on the piece of paper.
Right.
And Roger said that his internet went out, so
Oof.
he had to drop out.
Okay.
But he is buying it as a gift for his
Daughter.
beautiful daughter.
Okay, so
Yes.
this one is for Metarog, Roger, and he's buying it for his daughter, Olivia. I think he just said that, oh, Brian, you're welcome.
Okay.
I think Metarog just said that his internet went down, so when he catches this on the replay, this is the one for his daughter.
Nice.
All right, John, your turn. Switch off.
This is the like fold out cover. This is all the heroes. There you
Okay,
go.
that totally has all my attention.
Right.
Wasn't that
Catwoman, Superman, Nightwing, Huntress, Gordon, Batman, of course, on the tail
Need
end.
more Flash.
Oh my gosh.
And
Ethan, did you hear that little boy from the
Yes, I
show
did.
passed away?
which was
Yeah.
Oh
terrible.
my gosh,
Yeah.
that's so awful. I don't even know what he passed away from. All right, well, Kirk,
Just
since we
suddenly.
have you, and
Yeah,
you're right
since Kirk is here.
Yeah.
go
Barry.
ahead and sign and personalize to
All right,
Kirk.
so this one
from
is
Comics on the Mind.
Comics on the Mind, Kirk and John. You just-
Oh, thank you so much, Leroy. The cover artist is just right here.
Here, come
So
back here.
hi,
I'm
Jake.
sorry. I'm moving. Hi, I'm here. What happened? Oh, thank you.
Yes. Jake is an amazing artist.
So, and the cover is from a poster that he hand drew. So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
come
right.
back.
I can hold the
back.
poster. I'll hold the poster. Oh, dang, it feels weird.
So,
Ta-da.
yeah, he hand drew it, and it took him hours, and he killed about 6 Sharpies and a set of alcohol markers.
Several sets.
That is awesome.
There we
Okay. All right. You need to get back to Comics on the Mind.
Right,
All
Kirk.
right.
how do you want yours? Did he tell you, Kirk, how he wants his to be signed?
He
Yes.
said he wanted both. So
Okay.
she's gonna
Yeah.
draw big hearts and flowers and
So
Maybe-
this is
maybe
the
somebody-
villain cover that goes with the hero cover. You get all the villains.
Oh my
that's
gosh,
cool.
that Joker is huge.
It is huge.
Yeah.
And then you got where's you got Bruce down there on the grave at the very bottom there,
Aw.
Wow.
Oh,
I didn't know they killed him so soon.
along with Poison Ivy looking amazing.
She always looks amazing. There's no such thing as a bad poison ivy hair day.
It's healthy living. She eats all those vegetables.
Well, that's probably it, right?
It's not the fact that she doesn't exist.
No, that has nothing to do with it.
Absolutely.
But see, here's the thing, though. Would she actually eat plants?
Oh, well, that's a very valid point, Rena. That would be like kind of murder, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
She might be one of those people that like eats only what falls off of the tree. Right?
Oh, okay,
She
gotcha.
might just be real, which again would keep her very slim. She's not eating a whole lot.
Right.
Right. Hey, Biggie. Thanks for stopping by. We really
Biggie.
okay.
Let's see what I got now.
Uh,
Oh, speaking of Poison Ivy, there she is.
That was perfect.
all right, so let's do to Mike and Riley since they were just in the chat a
Okay.
little while ago.
So this is to Mike and Riley. I knew
Downright
they were
Nerdy
here.
Podcast. They were
Downright
yep.
Nerdy Podcast. Yeah, they were here just a little bit ago. Just sign it.
Yeah, because I asked them if you want it personalized, and they must have hopped out. We can always personalize it later.
Later, yeah.
Mhm.
For some of you guys, if I mess this up, like if you're like, I want my name in it, or if I want a message in it and we don't grab you in the chat, just message us later.
Yeah, you can.
We'll be
DM
going
either
back
of
and
us.
we'll be
Yeah.
making sure every book is
Mhm,
okay.
mhm.
Oh, he says he's still there. He's in the chat.
Oh,
Oh, hi.
you're good. Okay. Do you want us to write your names in it then?
Kurt says the cover was scanned and then emailed to Darren at the publishing. Okay, cool.
What?
what?
They were asking about how they went from your painting to the cover. What was there any?
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah.
I
I think did you scan it, Bon? At the Staples?
I think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was gonna
Mhm,
say I don't
yeah.
think it was from the picture.
Yes, they want both their names in it. So
Both
to
names.
Mike and
Got you.
Riley,
Got
yes.
to Mike
Mhm.
and to Mike and Riley. Yes.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you all so much. I'm getting so many more names. So this is so amazing that you guys are getting books live. And I know it's kind of like the partial fun of getting your name shout out, but thank you all so much. This means so much.
Ooh, Karen wants her grandmother to have the artist sign it too.
What?
Oh, okay.
Okay, wait, where was that, John? Gosh, I missed that.
Karen Pike.
Right there, it's the third one, fourth one up now.
To sign her book
Oh,
too.
yeah, sure. Do you want just yours signed or do you want all of them signed?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, Jake can sign it for sure.
Yeah.
Karen, do you want your 3 books to have Jake's signature as well? We should have been doing that from the beginning. What are we
No.
thinking?
No.
Are you done with Mike and Riley?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so that's Josie Murphy.
I will bring it
Hello
back.
to Kevin of 1-2 Comic Talk. Thank you for coming by, buddy.
Thank you. All right, so this one is to Josie Murphy.
She's a family friend.
She's a family friend. She reached out to me a couple of days ago and she got a book. So Josie, thank you so much.
Grandma wants Jake to sign.
Yeah, I got that.
I don't know why I have the Jeopardy theme song in my head. Maybe it's just because I'm like, must sign books.
Okay. Okay. So I guess they want you to sign all of them.
All right.
okay.
So you got 5 books yourself. You got to sign
so-
now.
Ethan, you lost your chair.
Megan.
Wahaha.
Oh, there's a pen right there.
Oh,
Ethan, right
perfect.
next to
Yeah,
the
can you
flower
have that,
vase. Yep.
please? Okay. So let me make sure that this is.
Ooh, I lost the paper. Where'd it go? There it is.
Is this one it?
So I dropped the link for anybody who is interested in the book, and there's the link to the website, isleofthedark.com. You can just click over there and take a look.
Oh, anywhere.
Sorry.
Can we trade these, Mom?
Sorry.
No, you're all good.
All right, Pat, you want a good scarecrow cover. How about that guy?
That one's to Rob.
Okay.
First. Okay.
Rob Worst, this one's for you. We're showing off 2 books. Just a nice little comparison. John, you and me are kind of twinning, just with 2 different covers.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just trying to entertain.
Batman is
Myself.
not allowed to die. Thank you so much. That is unacceptable.
Yeah, Batman had his back broken and crawled out of a prison on the opposite side of the planet. So, I mean, kind of hard to kill him off after that one.
Yeah. He looks a little bit like he's just doing a yoga stretch kind of thing here.
Right.
Just kind of getting his stretch on. Well, I got another one where he's laying on his back all racked out.
Oh no.
He's just getting poor Batman, man. He's getting beat up.
Well, this is what happens when he has no powers. Like,
He's
can't
really
heal,
rich.
isn't
That is a
invulnerable. Yeah.
Sharon, did you notice that Michael is saying he bought his on Amazon?
Ooh.
This one.
Oh.
Maybe we should be aware of where people are buying them before we personalize them, maybe.
Oh, okay. So here's so for everybody who says they've got it off of Amazon, the only problem with getting it off of Amazon is it's cheaper, or it's more expensive. Sorry, excuse me. It's more expensive to get off of Amazon, and I have no way of being able to know who gets it off of Amazon. So, it is nice.
Cancel that on Amazon, Mike.
Cancel
because
it on
we
Amazon.
can't-
Yeah.
And we send it to you cheaper.
We send it,
So-
because we take care of shipping. Well, because part of what you pay on my website is shipping cost. So what you pay for shipping is what we just turn around and give back
And
to
we
you
can't
guys.
personalize off of Amazon. I
No.
am so sorry.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. So for everyone, if you want to remain anonymous, you can use Amazon. But if you want your signed and personalized, you need to order it from the isleofthedark.com website. Because for whatever reason, I have no way to see who buys it off of Amazon. Hi, how are you?
Hi. There we go.
Got the girls coming in. Hi. Yeah, so I'm very sorry, podcast. Just cancel that. Because I can't track it. All I get is the kickback for some flicks. Here's some money 2 months later from Amazon. So
Do me a favor, Ethan, and grab that book right there. And Jake, we had another request for you to sign another book.
Oh, awesome. That's really cool.
you're getting
Like,
stuff.
that's actually really cool.
That is for Rod right there.
Awesome.
Just a Rican and his comics.
Justin Regan
Okay.
wanted his sign too. Yep. All right. So
Awesome. Here you are.
Thank you so much.
I don't know how real
Mama.
authors
Oh,
can
right,
sign
okay.
books so fast because the signature alone takes me like 20
Well, that's
seconds.
because you're drawing the fancy tail. You should show them, hold it up and show them how you sign it, because you don't just sign the name. Explain to them what you're
Okay,
doing.
so here's what I'll do. I'll use this. I have a blank piece of
Well,
convenience.
but no, don't waste time on a blank piece of paper here.
But I want to show
You
them.
can show them on the book.
Oh my gosh.
No. It's all about time.
Okay,
Lena.
so this next one here is to Philip Runyon, who is a
Hey, Runyon!
Boy.
He was one of our teachers back in high school, but we haven't seen him in a couple of years. So he got in contact with me because he wanted a book, which was really, really cool. So this one is to Philip Runyon.
I actually ran into him a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, really? I
Really?
didn't even know he was still in town.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
no.
still lives in
No,
Colorado.
he's
He
in
just went to a
Colorado.
different school.
Yeah, he used to teach. Last time I heard, he taught by where I used to live.
You know, I ran into him at Michael's. It was great.
Okay, so Jake, I'm gonna have you
Yes.
sign this one as
Oh.
well.
Dang.
This one is for Let's Think.
Okay.
Okay.
So so how I sign the book, you guys, is if it's my signature, I sign my signature, but I also it's really hard to see because I can't see where the camera is. Mom, can you help me direct here?
You're perfect.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, that's
spot
good
on.
stuff.
So that is if you guys have seen the front cover of the book, the dude that is standing next to your main character, Ranger, that is his tail. That is my signature swoop under my name because I take it back up and I put his tail at the end of the swoop.
Nice.
So that is what that is for everyone who has gotten the tail on the signature.
I got a cat face in mine, and I'm.
Yeah, there's a lot. I kind of been just putting little things like if I know someone personally, I'm like, okay, here's a little face, do.
Yeah, I got a little cat face. It was so adorable.
And
Well,
then, heck
your-
yeah, Let's Think Geek.
Your mom bought a copy today, and
Yeah.
your mom is buying 3 more copies.
3 more.
So, and you know what? I bet you she would want your signature.
I got a
as
text saying I
well.
want our signature.
Yes. So, and we're gonna do those actually next. So, big shout out.
Cool.
Thank you so much to Jill. So Rena, you can sign those 3 along with Jake for that. So that is awesome. And thank you.
It looks
Oh,
like a lot of people are asking for Jake as well. It looks OG Space Buns is the same way.
Oh yeah, Alexa, we haven't gotten to yours yet, but definitely we will do that for you next.
And if you want his signature, if we've already signed your book and you want his signature, after the show ends, we'll go back through and we'll have him sign as well. Yes.
Let's go right here. What am I going to get? Let's see. Oh, I got 2 books. Ooh. Batman with a Gargoyle. Always good. Oh. And Two-Face. Come on. I got some Two-Face.
Yo, that's a dope cover.
I love Two-Face. Is so cool, man. I used to draw Two-Face when I was a kid. That was like my favorite thing to draw because I didn't have to get any symmetry in the face right. I could actually make it more as grotesque as I wanted.
When I was little, I didn't actually say his name is Two-Face. I used to call him Toothpaste. I don't know why, but whenever I would go and I would say his name, I would say Toothpaste. I don't know why.
Toothpaste is better.
Okay, so this one actually, I just made the connection. This one is Tanner. This is the one, Let's Think Geek, the one who wanted Jake to sign as well. This one he wants dedicated to his son, Quinn.
That's okay. That's
So
Tanner.
if you
Yep.
could dedicate that to Quinn, please.
Okay.
That
So
would be great.
so this one is to this is Geek, right?
Yes.
yes.
Uh-huh.
So
yes.
this is Geek, and we are making it out to your
His
son, Quinn.
Yes.
So thank you so much for ordering in a book, and I hope he likes it.
And then we will actually go ahead and do Alexa next.
Yep.
And so hers is going to be a special shout out as
Yep.
well. So she is OG Space Buns,
yes.
who's brand new to our community.
So Alexa, OG Space Buns, you can find her on YouTube and Instagram under the same name.
And she does cosplay and all kinds of
yeah,
cool stuff.
and she's new to our neck of the woods. So we literally just bumped into her around Kate's birthday. She drew the Flash for Kate's birthday. And
Which
we're like,
was
Oh, wow.
yeah, we were like, how'd you even know? Yeah.
Oh no, she drew something for you too. Didn't
She did. She drew Spider-Man for me today for my birthday.
Okay,
yes.
Raina, you still need to sign these for Jill. I see
Yes,
that Jake
please.
signed them,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
still
Sorry,
need to-
I saw them sitting off to the side, and I was like, wait.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So
yeah.
we'll do those next.
Okay.
Cool.
So this is for OG Space Buns, and if you guys haven't already, go sub her up. She is brand new to our community.
I just dropped her link in the chat, although her name's right in there. You can just click on her name whenever you want.
Yeah, thank you.
She's at 71 subscribers already. That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
she was only at like 35 this morning.
No, she was at 23.
I think it was 29 the other day when you guys mentioned her, and
Yeah. Mhm.
Yo, that's awesome.
Thank
Yeah.
you guys so much. Wow.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny, Brian. Because she actually mentioned that to me, that everybody's always teasing her about her name because of that.
Yep.
Alrighty, so that was 2 Space Buns, and then I'm just gonna take these and I'm gonna sign these real quick. So this is for your mom,
Yeah.
who has now bought 6 books. So thank you so
Yeah,
much,
Very
Jill.
much. She's getting close to how many I've bought, because I've bought 10. So
Dude,
she's right up there.
And then the
yeah.
ones I've bought too. So
Oh, thank you so much, Kim. We appreciate you being here and supporting us. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Drew, thank you so
I
much.
was going to say, Comic Assassin just jumped on in.
Yeah, thank you. We really, really appreciate your support. Thank you.
Ethan, are you messing with the cat?
have you been
You're
sent yet?
screwing up the. Quit it.
I got distracted with, but I got distracted by the cat.
You're letting the light in now. It's kind of.
It creates a wicked glare.
It
It's
does
so
create a wicked
weird how
glare.
much glare our
Okay.
windows cause.
Are you almost done? Okay.
Yeah, I'm almost done. Last one. Just gotta draw the tail. Which is a weird thing to say when you're signing a signature.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys stopping by
Yeah,
and
thank
supporting
you.
us.
This has been awesome.
It really, really has been. Okay, this
Okay.
is for Simple Simon, who is not here. He's probably sleeping.
Simple Simon's asleep right now, guys. So he will probably catch the show on the replay. But Simon, this one is for you.
And I want to give a shout out to him because he just dropped a new video today. And he is doing a daily vlog of how it's going in Australia with everything that's going on with COVID. It was really, really interesting.
Yeah.
To see how his country is dealing with it versus how we're dealing with it, how he's personally dealing with it. So if you guys have a chance, go check that video out because it's really, really good.
Awesome. I'll go find it and I'll put the link. Sorry.
Thank
you.
you, John.
I was too busy listening. I was like, oh, this is amazing. All right, here we go.
Yeah, he just dropped it this morning. So
And it's probably like what?
he's probably just now.
It's like
waking up, would be my
5 or
guess.
6 a.m. for him, something like that. Yeah.
So and he stays.
Well, and
up
the
really
time
late.
changes for them this morning for their morning too. So he might even sleep in an extra hour.
Hey, Kala. Thank
Hi,
you
Kala,
for hanging
thank you.
out.
Kala is my cousin, so thank you so much for chilling out and having fun with us. Thank you.
She was also one of our beta readers.
She was.
She inhaled the book in like one night.
One day.
Yeah,
she
I
is.
was like,
That's
oh my
awesome.
gosh.
Uh-huh.
Which, speaking of which, Kala, you also need to read the new version because not even you have read the updated one.
Dun dun dun.
So there's the link for Simple Simon's video from today, I guess. Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, just this morning. Thank you so
John,
much.
thank you so
You're
much.
so amazing. Hey, Hialeah, thank you so much for stopping by. It's so
Hi.
awesome to see you. Okay.
Couple more.
This one is to my friend, BJ.
Okay.
And she wants it personalized as well as signed by both of you.
Oh,
Okay.
awesome.
So this one is, we call her Miss BJ because we've known her for
a long
a
time.
long
I
time.
used to work graveyard with her at a department store. So
Long before I was born. Yeah.
No, you were just a little.
Oh, I thought you worked with her
wee
before.
lass,
I thought
a
you worked
wee
with her
lass,
before I was
yes.
born.
Mm-mm.
Lifelong friends are something to live by, guys. And I am super lucky that I have all of you
Yeah,
guys here.
because you guys have
There's
all been
no
really
way
good
I
friends
would have been
since-
able. We've all been friends since
Yeah,
like
since-
8th grade. Yeah.
When I was in seventh,
Seventh
so
grade.
Yeah.
you guys would have been ninth.
Mhm, yeah,
Dang,
long time.
it's weird.
You guys are also old.
Well, you're turning 20 in what, couple months?
I hate that with a passion.
Oh my
I do not want to be
goodness.
20.
Oh my
You
goodness.
can't hate getting old when you're only 20, man. Come on.
Yeah, one more year and you're allowed to drink. I mean, come on.
That's
I mean, you have a
funny.
point.
That's so funny.
Mr. Daly already said he's going to buy me a drink on my 21st.
Isn't he the one that won't let you on his Facebook page
Oh, no.
until you're 21? Or
Oh,
is
no,
that?
that's my boy Chase.
Oh, yeah.
All of our
Okay.
teachers. I'm sorry. We all know like all of our
I feel
teachers
so bad
personally.
for all our
Yeah.
teachers.
Well,
Well, and that's
his
funny
teachers
because,
know,
okay,
but-
John is a teacher. So, John, do your kids have access to your social media?
My family my family social media is private, but my comic book stuff's all public. It's all out there. So they can if they want. I think they'd mostly be really bored by it.
Oh,
I think in general the few that have followed have been like, okay, he really likes comic books. Holy cow. That's
Do you
about as far as it goes.
you to like show off comics while you're teaching.
They were excited to see me because this is the same space I use for my classroom. I just shift over a little bit so it's less comic book. But they were excited because this poster of Avengers 1 is always in the background. They're like, oh, look, it's an Avengers poster. Look how
Aw.
they think it's cool because Iron Man's like, he's wearing this old school. This is the costume he's wearing. He's wearing the old, like, looks like a microwave or something, a golden microwave he's inside of there.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not done.
So they dig the old retro style, I guess, but they're not entertained by it for sure.
Right.
Do you have to go?
Yeah, I do. At some point.
Yeah,
Shout
you-
out to Steve Whiting who
Well,
gave
okay,
me this.
so
Yeah,
guys,
let's trade these.
Ethan has to go. He has to go to work, unfortunately. So, Ethan, thank you so much for hanging out and thank you for all of your help.
Please save me from work.
No, you gotta be responsible and do what you gotta do. So thank you for being a part of our show. We really appreciate it. And you guys can sub Ethan up.
He does have a YouTube channel.
He is in my channel under the channels there.
Yeah.
You don't really have any content lately.
Not anymore,
but
yeah.
still.
All my stuff has been all over the place.
Yeah.
I have
so-
been working on things. Eventually, it'll all.
Go up somewhere. Yeah.
I have a couple videos hiding
Well,
somewhere.
drive safe.
Drive safe,
and,
my dude.
You know, and he works at Target, so he's kind of like
Yeah, he's
in the
like me
front
that works in the
lines right
grocery
now,
store
so
frontline
huge kudos to
situation.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And then give me a copy of your book.
Yeah.
I dropped the link again for anybody who's new, who's jumped into the stream here for
thank you,
purchasing
John.
the book. You want to make sure you go to isleofthedark.com. And I'm sorry if I'm saying that too fast. It's not I Love the Dark.
Money for me.
Hey, I love the dark too. I mean, you know,
I just don't know what they're going to find if they type in that address.
right?
So Isle of the Dark, and you can buy a copy from, and they're signing them right now. You can buy it right now. Get it double signed right here, gold label.
Hey, Gray Man, it's so good to see you. I hope you're feeling better.
I know. Yeah, Grayman has not been feeling good, so I hope you're feeling better, man.
Feel better, dude.
Okay. So this one here that I was signing, this was to Caroline, Lady Fantastic.
Lady Fantastic, yay!
If you guys have not subbed her up before already, please do so.
Isn't that so true, Tony? Here you go. And last but not least is Matt.
We have Matt, the boy who had 7. We should have tried to grab his book while he was
I know,
on.
I didn't even think about it.
But he had to blip right in and out. Yeah. So this
I
one
would
is for
also
Matt.
have Jake sign his
Okay.
as well. And while you guys are doing that, earlier we signed a book to Comics Altruism. So we wanted to thank him. Johnny, thank you so much for your order. And he's in Canada, and he got it for his daughter, Maddie. So we wanted to thank Johnny so much for the purchase of his book. And we've already mailed it out, and it's winging its way on to you. So thank you. Thank you. And you know what? I have to say, we kind of timed that perfectly.
We have
Dude, that's
7 minutes
awesome.
left.
Because we signed them all.
We're out of books. Matt's is the last one.
Yay!
I mean, like, we could throw one more on there.
Well, and I do want to close out and talk for just a moment. So as soon as I can wrap this up.
Okay.
I dropped the link for Matt and Lady Fantastic's channels as well because they're awesome.
Thank
And,
you so much.
definitely awesome people worthy of taking the time to watch what they make.
Well, and tonight, I know we haven't been advertising it, but tonight we do have Isle of the Birthday for our normal Isle of series, where Matt is going to be helping me co-host for Rena's birthday.
Yeah, so it is my turn to be interviewed. Oh God.
So if you guys could join us, it's just going to be a short show.
Half
where
hour.
we wish
8
Rena
o'clock.
happy birthday, and John, I believe you'll be floating around then for us as well.
In the chat, you mean, or on camera?
On camera, of course.
Or am I supposed to be?
Yeah, I thought so.
I thought you wanted me on this. I didn't know you wanted to. I didn't know what I was doing.
We had Matt pop on, so
anytime I can get you on my channel, I'm happy.
You're so foolish.
Okay, so with that being said, the pen is going back in the case.
Did you run out of ink?
I don't think we want to scare you.
Yeah,
but I wish.
Don't shut that yet.
Why?
Yes.
Why? Are
Yes,
you
I just
buying
bought a book.
one more? Oh my
Book
God.
number
Oh my
9.
goodness. That is hilarious. Well, pull out the ceremonial pen. There
All right,
you
one
go.
more time, one more time.
One more. That is so funny.
So yes, thank you all so much for coming. And I think this turned out a lot better because our original plan was to do it at our LCS. But even without the COVID thing, we would have only been able to see it, which would still have been amazing family and friends. But I feel like this way we had the opportunity to have so many more people be able to participate and be a part of the event. So thank you all for coming. John, thank you for being my co-host and for, thinking
Carrying
on the fly.
the
I know. Oh my gosh. Because if I wasn't blabbing, I was just like, so thank you for thinking on the fly and bringing out comics and for putting everybody's links in the description. Thank you so much.
You're awesome.
Super cool.
I would like to, I know that, we've been flipping through guests, but if they watch the replay back, I would like to thank Mr. Darren Palmer. I'd like to thank Ethan. I'd like to thank John and Jake, for everybody who was, and Matt. Matt was on for 30 seconds. Thank you all for being on and for giving the time to be a part of this book launch. Hopefully this will not be the only book launch ever. And I hope you guys stay tuned for videos of signings in the future. Kala, I miss you too. And thank you, Javi.
And we do want to give a shout out to Javi because he did write a song.
He did write
for
the song.
The book for Rena, especially.
So if you go back and you watch the official announcement video, we have the whole song and the slideshow.
The whole song. It's part of the song.
Well, we added the tail end. So if you watch back to my trailer, you can hear part of the song, and at the very end of the trailer is the tail end that Javi wrote back in to finish off the song.
And we will be dropping more videos to feature more of the song.
Yes.
So absolutely check out Conquistador's channel. And he does write custom
comes
songs
later. Be
and
quiet.
Stuff. So anyway, thank you to him.
Rena, Jake, thank you so much for taking the time. John, your moderation skills are legendary. Yes, they are. Thank you.
Legendary. All right.
So yeah, please everybody make sure to tune in again tonight, because I think we'll be talking about the book a little bit more rather than just, signings. We'll be kind of talking about
birthday extravaganza. No, tonight is going to be all about embarrassing the snot out of you.
God.
I remember when Rena was 2 and I'm just kidding.
No.
Baby pictures.
No.
Oh, John, that's a good idea.
Why?
Yes. After what you and John did to me over Indiana Jones, you deserve
that
it.
was a tape sitting out in the living room. That was not embarrassing fodder, okay?
Oh, yes. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Russ.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. I wish I could call all of you out individually.
I mean, we had almost 40 people in the chat. That is the most we've had, I think, on one of our live streams.
Yes.
Thank you all so much. And which means technically it's more because multiple names have been flipping through, and I know some guys have to pop in and out. So thank you to everyone who has been here, who has ridden out the entire 2-hour stream. My hair has somehow managed to get fantastically messed up during this. So
it looks great.
It's too fluffy. So thank you all so much for coming. John, thank you for moderating and saving the quiet times that came with signing the book. We hope to see you all tonight, and we will see you all.
You want to let them know what time tonight?
8 o'clock, like our normal shows.
Thank you, John.
8 o'clock Standard Mountain Time. Yes, thank you.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And we will see
you all later.